Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast. Your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Stuff and Things Podcast. It's Walking Dead Wednesday on a Thursday this week, but we are back anyway. Sorry for the delay, I'm Sam. Joining me, it's Stefan.
Yeah, it is my fault this week.
Nah,
well, actually,
cool.
no. Do you know what? She doesn't listen. It's my wife's fault.
Yeah, blame her.
It's her
I'm
fault.
up for that. Yeah, under the bus.
I told her I had to podcast at a certain time, and she decided to get her dad round to do all this DIY stuff around the house and just left me no time. It's all her fault.
Wow, you went into detail.
Yeah, yeah.
Not happy. We got a Walking Dead episode, season 11, episode 3. Title of the episode.
I can actually pronounce this one.
Yeah,
Hunted.
Yeah, I'm glad as well.
I almost said haunted, which would have been really
that would have been hilarious. I can definitely pronounce this one. It's Jeff. No, damn it. So we have a cold open where we get to see the Reapers basically rip through Maggie in the group.
Yeah.
I want to just make this clear as well. Up to this point, I didn't realise they were called the Reapers. I've been hearing Reavers, like the way they say it. So up to this point, I've not been 100% sure. The only reason I know it's now the Reapers is because it was in the bio for the episode.
Yeah, the synopsis helped.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Now I've seen them dressed all in the black with the kind of skull face mask.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, the Reapers absolutely rip through the group. You see Daryl get separated and run off one direction. You see Maggie and a few others go the others. You see just loads of people just get mutilated, basically.
Yeah, they didn't do very well at sticking as a group.
No, it didn't do very well sticking as a group, and generally then got hunted.
Or staying alive, actually. Yeah.
No, they got absolutely... I mean, one of the things I always find interesting, or one of the things I always think is important if you're being introduced to new people in a show, is to understand the motivation. Mm-hmm. And one of the things with this group initially, going into this episode, is kind of like, I don't get it. They're just killing people. Like, this doesn't make sense to me. It's like, if in this world you're worried about survival and you're looking after yourself, I get that. If you're bad guys and you're going to take the supplies off another community, I get that. But these guys are literally just hunting and killing people. It doesn't seem to make a great deal of sense. And they all seem to be kind of well trained. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like some US military unit has survived the apocalypse together and are now have just decided to hunt people.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that you said about the military thing, actually. Remember how they said they ran into one and he was all like ghillie suited up, sniper rifle?
Yeah.
He now doesn't seem like he's anything to do with these guys at all.
Oh, do you not think?
Well, look at the way these guys were all dressed with the skull masks and all in the black and throwing knives and everything else.
I was thinking that was horses for courses because this is nighttime. So they were dressed in black and kind of doing that. Whereas he was hunting them in like the woods. So he was dressed in kind of like camo for the woods.
Man, if that is how they're working, then these guys are like hella bad guys.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was they thought it was those guys. That's why she was like, oh, look, there's not even many of them. And actually it turned out it was just an arsehole with a gun.
Well, I mean...
And now, is there a case of, oh no, there's lots of them and they're very good. Okay.
Infinitely possible, of course, but we'll keep an eye on that. But the thing that I find kind of interesting with these guys is, as this episode goes on, we actually learn they're like a cult. They're like real religious zealots. Like, they're crucifying people and burning them on the cross with like the word Judas written above it.
Yeah.
They hanging people upside down from posts, which again is very biblical, very punishment for the wicked. These guys are claiming they are of God. The guy that Father Gabriel kind of runs in with, they kind of injure each other, I think, and then the guy's basically reciting a Bible verse, I think, when Gabriel catches up with him.
Yeah.
And this, for me, I mean, I'll tell you what I wrote down. Father Gabriel kills a Reaper, and I've written stone cold, God's not here anymore.
Yeah, that was a line from a religious guy, wasn't it?
Oh, just I mean, don't you feel like sometimes with lines and stuff, dialogue can be really kind of cheesy?
Yeah.
Like that line there could be really naff. But I thought the actor and Father Gabriel's character, the delivery of that, I was kind of like, oh wow, that was cold.
It was dark.
Yeah, that was. I liked that. That was good. There was none of this kind of like namby-pamby. Oh, but why are you attacking us? We could all be friends. It was you're dead. God ain't here anymore. Bang, you're dead. There was something special about that. I enjoyed that. That was dark.
Yeah. And talking about Father Gabriel, can we also mention that he got sliced in the side of the neck?
Yeah.
I genuinely thought he had his throat slit. Yeah. There was a little part of me that was like, oh, at last. And then he wasn't dead, and he turned into a badass. And I'm like, oh, now I don't know how I feel.
Yeah. That's good.
Emotional
like
roller coaster there.
I mean,
he's dead. Oh, yeah, he's a badass.
When he pulled that knife out of his leg, I was kind of like, oh, wow, yeah, that was done well. That made me feel that. I was like, oh, ow, no. Yeah, didn't need the noise.
Yes.
Didn't need that. Oh, no. But yeah, I mean, so Gabriel kind of holds his own. Hopefully he's able to get away. We get to see, which again, there's this one character in this show who, if he died, I'd be good with it, you know, and that's Jersey
Eugene.
Shore. No, Jersey Shore Savior, the turncoat. That guy has never been anything other than annoying to me.
Like, you really haven't. Like, you've never even learned his name.
No, oh god, what? No, they said it in this episode. It's
Alden or Alden. It's the only reason I know is because they actually said it in the episode.
Yes, they did. Yeah, Alden, I think. Yeah, no, I don't care. I mean, like literally, this guy from day one, they gave him Carl's storyline with Enid, which didn't help matters with me. Like, you son of a bitch. No, I've not liked him ever, not once, and like so, literally from day one, this guy. And please don't. This isn't a slight on the actor at all. Just some characters you don't like, and this is one of them.
Eugene.
Yeah, like for you, it's Eugene, but you know the actor, and you see interviews, phenomenal, great guy.
Yep, I've met him at the Comic-Con convention. Yeah, the guy's fantastic, really nice guy. Yeah, the character,
just character annoys you. Character annoys you. So this for me was kind of like, I want to see this guy dead, and I'm like, he's managed to. So Maggie, by the way, Maggie escapes from the Reapers, and she goes into this building because she's being hunted. I love the detail of putting the bottles on the door so she can hear. I like
that. My problem more was the fact she's being hunted by these people that are throwing things with ridiculous accuracy.
Yeah.
So she walks through the middle of an open car park without hiding behind any vehicles. She just walks in a straight line. I'm like, oh, come on.
Do you not feel that, like, sometimes in this, and this is true, the show manages, whether it's deliberate or not, this is how I take it. The show manages to demonstrate the difference between people who are trained and people who are just surviving. Like, for example, like you just said then, you are being hunted by someone who is ridiculously accurate. You stay in the shadows, you know, you duck and weave.
Yeah, you're ducking behind every car, you're running to the next car, getting behind it.
And that's someone with training. With someone who's not, it's kind of like, oh, well, if I'm trying to get away from someone, so I need to go the fastest route possible to get away from them. So that's kind of how I take that. Again, it's probably not deliberate. It's probably just me giving them too much credit. But that's how I kind of take it. But she ends up... By the way, there's something creepy about mannequins in the apocalypse. Is that just me? Like horror films or anything?
There's something about mannequins in real life anyway. I don't like mannequins anyway.
Oh, well, no, I love the 80s film Mannequin where one comes to life and she's a beautiful princess. That's fun. But yeah, no. So, by the way,
I haven't seen that in
By
a
the way,
long
that
time.
is a real film.
Yeah.
Kim Cattrall, a film called Mannequin. If you've never seen it, look it up. It's brilliantly naff. So yeah, there's something weird about that, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that we're seeing a bit more atmospheric. It's like they're walking through places that we've not seen, and it's a bit creepier, and it's a bit. And she bumps into Jersey Shore Savior, and he's like, "Hey!" And just he says, "Hey, these Reapers attacked them."
Yeah,
it's like, "Oh, you jackass!" Now I thought he was dead here because the Reaper was like cutting at him and stuff. So I'm happy. But Maggie's fighting for her life, and I'm kind of like, we've seen the scene with the kids talking about their mum always coming back. which was a nice scene, by the way. The kids playing Snap, talking about their parents, kind of nice.
It was a nice scene. At the same time, I was kind of like, this is random.
Well, it was
you've
random.
Got loads of tension, loads of tension. Snap.
Random, but the thing was, I thought it fed into this moment because you've just seen him like, my mum says, I'll be back soon, and like there she is, literally could die. So I'm kind of like, oh damn! If we just seen this scene of the kids being all happy just for one of their parents to get murdered, because of course Alden's got a kid back there as well that he's bringing up. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of crazy to me. That was kind of like, oh wow, yeah, this could be impactful. But the thing that I loved, right? So me and you talked about this, about Negan and Maggie and the situation and the dynamic. And I said to you, I thought it would be so much better in the dynamic if Negan saved her, because then that's a real tension point. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh no, I hate this guy. I hate him with everything, but he's literally just saved my life. Yep. Negan in this episode doesn't just save her life once, he saves it twice.
Yeah.
And this is the first time by taking out the Reaper that's attacking her. And she jams that broken bottle into the guy. This is the thing about the Reapers that I think these guys are trained, is they use like the pyrotechnics, smoke grenades and stuff like that, and they're gone.
Yeah,
I think it makes it feel like they are trained. Like the guy who they captured before, like blew himself up. Do you know what I mean? It just feels like this is some sort of commando unit that have gone completely batshit.
Yeah, like the whole throwing the smoke grenade, flashbang, them going like, get out, and turning round, and by the time they've turned around, they've managed to drag the guy that's been messed up away, and you're like, they've not even left him behind to turn or to die. They have dragged his body away.
Yeah, it is.
Now, the other part to me is like, he's bleeding a lot.
Yeah.
They're dragging a blood trail along.
Well, I'm guessing they pick him up.
Yeah, I was like, do you then turn around and go, right, they've gone that way, go the other way? Or do you go, we know one of them's messed up, do we try and catch up and get rid of them?
I don't think these are a group you try and actively engage. I mean, Negan's constantly just like, this is a shit plan.
Yeah, I don't like this. Trust me.
This is so weird, though, and I think this is good storytelling, because who could have ever predicted when Maggie and Negan go off on a mission together that you'd be going, Negan makes sense, Maggie, you really need to rethink this.
Yeah.
I mean, just never in a million years. And like, she has a real go at him again, like in this episode. Like, he saves her at that time, and then a little bit later on, she basically lays right into him, like, I will never forgive you. You are fooling everyone. Maybe you're even lying to yourself if you think you've changed. Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
wow.
She proper digs him in that one.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, she's got every reason to hate the guy, and she, of every character, she's the one you wouldn't expect to kind of accept he's a good dude now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For Daryl kind of treats him like crap, but he treated Daryl like crap, and I think Daryl has a kind of begrudging respect for what he's doing now. But just talks to him like a dick.
Yeah.
I think Daryl would shoot him. But I think it's both ways. I think Carol kind of did the deal with him to kill Alpha, and I think Carol's kind of like Team Negan now. Don't get me wrong, I still think Carol would shoot him in the face as well, because that's just Carol. But
yeah.
I think of all the characters, the one that is going to struggle with it the most, and should be the one that is the last one to go, okay, all right, fine, you can sit here for tea, you
may survive today.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, and I wanted to put this to you because I think you're going to find this funny. My daughter has always wanted to watch The Walking Dead, and I made a deal with her. She couldn't do it until she was a teenager. She's
you said, yeah.
She's made her way through season 1, and we've been watching season 2 together. There is a scene in the show where Daryl calls Glenn short round. Yeah. Can you remember that?
I don't remember it, but the cringe knowing what happened when she introduces Herschel.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, wow.
That was actually in the show, and I heard it, and I was like, no, I must have misheard that, because I'd completely forgotten it.
Yeah.
Rewind it. Nope, there it was. Daryl called him short round. Yeah.
And half of Twitter got shut down for calling little Herschel the same thing. Yeah.
Yep. Didn't they ever? People were cancelled, man. But yeah, so anyway, that was a sidebar. So yeah, so Maggie, Negan, and Jersey Shore go off. They find this old abandoned church after seeing some pretty messed up stuff. By the way, Maggie met these people when she was out on the road. This new group. That group got destroyed. Their home destroyed, and those survivors followed Maggie here. Basically, they're all dying. Have you noticed that? It's like every one of them pretty much got messed up in this episode.
If you find Maggie, you die.
Yeah, just don't follow her.
Like, it used to be, if Carol talks about flowers, you're in trouble. Now it's Maggie going, come with us.
Come with us.
I'm good. I'm good.
I've got an idea. No, you're on your own. Do you know what? It's almost like Negan's pointing that out. Like, how many people have got to die for this, Maggie? And she's just adamant, like, nope, we need the supplies because everyone back at Alexandra's going to die if we don't get them.
You know we're going to get to the supplies and the place is going to be empty.
Do you know what? I'm genuinely, and I gotta say, this is the first time in quite a while with The Walking Dead that I am genuinely interested and kind of like running theories in my mind about different things, because I don't think there is any supplies. I think this is purely Maggie on a revenge trip that's going wrong. Yeah. I think she wanted revenge for what happened to where she was against these Reapers. She fought her group, and with the help of Daryl and probably Negan, but not Negan, would be able to take him out, and they've been decimated. I don't know, I could be completely wrong, but it just feels like if there's enough supplies at this place to feed the people at Alexandria, how in the hell are her and Negan going to carry them?
That is something I thought in this episode when Jersey Shore goes, no, it's all about the supplies, you need to go get them, and I'm like, there's two of them.
Yeah.
Exactly. No horses, no carts, no nothing. There is two of them.
Exactly, man.
I don't get me wrong, I know some strong people. And I did a strongman competition myself, but even I know.
There's only so much you can carry just physically.
And for so far. Yeah.
And whilst trying to avoid being murdered by the dead or the Reapers or anyone else who just sees someone with loads of supplies on the road.
Well, that's the other thing I was going to say. If you've got all these supplies and just two of you, if you go past any other surviving groups,
you
are
trouble.
A target.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, friend, where you going with that wagon full of goodies?
Yeah. To an army barracks with hundreds of soldiers and guns.
Oh, good. We'll take you up before you get there.
Yeah, exactly. So Maggie and Negan are off on their own. They're going for the supplies, and Jersey Shore's been left behind in this church kind of in a bad way, injured. Sadly, doesn't look fatal, but we'll see. But you mentioned horses then. They don't have any horses. Well, the people of Alexandria do have horses, because Carol and her little band of horse wranglers, including Rosita, went and found the horses that had escaped Alexandria.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a nice contrast to what was going on with Maggie, etc. You know, the being hunted, the high octane, and then you had this kind of community building story arc at the other side. So it was kind of like a nice contrasting story, or at least so I thought.
Yep.
because they round up the horses, they bring them back. It's kind of like a nice moment that, you know, that they've got the horses back, which is really going to help them back at Alexandria.
Yeah, and you're like, great. They've actually they've gone through all this to get them.
Carol's sat with one, and the horse is led down. It feels really comfortable with her. If a horse lies down like that, it's because the horse is really comfortable with the person.
Yeah.
And then she reaches for a knife, dude. I watched this show with people being bitten, ripped apart, everything like that. I had to look away for this.
There's one of those weird things in it, like, you know, you don't hurt animals and children on TV shows.
No.
This episode, we have decapitated horses, half-eaten horses, and then a horse with its throat slit.
Yeah.
And then you even see it, because she lifts the head up, and you see... I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, no, she literally slaughters the horse for meat, I guess.
Yeah.
I just like, no, I didn't need that. I know what they're trying to do is desperation, and they're trying to, you know, and Carol was very emotional doing it and stuff, but I'm just like, this doesn't feel like, I didn't need that. I didn't need that scene.
Do you remember, was it like season 1, the horse gets eaten?
Yeah.
That was as far as my mother got watching this show.
Yeah.
She was fine with everything. The horse got eaten. She was like, nah, not for me, thank you. Yeah. And we've not had anything really like that, apart from the old tiger.
Do you know that's literally episode 1 of season 1, right?
Yeah, that's as far as my mother got. Yeah. She was like, nah, it's not for me. And then we have the tiger, seasons and seasons later.
Yeah, the tiger going was tough, but it was CGI'd.
Yeah, but in general, they've kind of left animals fairly alone.
Yeah, but watch it.
And
was something about
this was like,
I'm glad it wasn't just me that I find that kind of like quite confronting. Don't get me wrong, I think that's why they did it, but still, it was like I didn't need that. I didn't need. You could have, even if it had been done off screen, and she just said, "We've got to kill one for it," and you saw her walk into the barn with the knife, I'd have been uncomfortable. But
that's not nice. Yeah,
actually seeing it was messed up.
Yeah.
One of the little side stories back at Alexandria is obviously Carol is going out looking for Connie.
Yeah.
And there's like this argument over giving her sister false hope. What's your opinion on that? Because to me, I kind of get the point of the longer you keep looking, the longer this mourning period is going to be dragged out.
I get that, but the other side of it is, you're the cow that left her in the bloody cave.
Yeah.
So no, it's not about false hope, it's about your guilt. Because you know you left her to die, but you haven't got the bollocks to tell anyone.
Yeah, quite literally. I hear you, and I think that's the reality. I think the reality is she feels guilty.
That story arc hasn't got me at all, because it's just the way it's been done, the annoyance. Like, I have no affection for that character. Even from the very beginning, I've never clicked. Like you,
Carol?
No, the other woman.
Which
from
woman?
Kelly's group.
Oh right, yeah, the one who said stop doing it because
yeah. I've never had any sort of connection. Same as you and Jersey Shore. I've never had this connection for her at all.
Yeah.
And then she left Connie to die, and all this stuff's happened. And every time she's on it, I'm just like, but you know you did it, so just piss off.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see how the sort of things develop.
Because I genuinely believe Connie's coming back.
It would seem strange if that was her exit.
Like, didn't they? I swear they showed a bit at the end of last season of her, didn't they? When she was walking, like, covered in the soot and stuff.
I honestly don't know, because I remember there was a fan made thing went viral where someone had basically put her in like she was part of the horde, and she was walking between them like she was a whisperer. No,
now I'm thinking maybe that's what I saw.
Yeah, but it wasn't real, and I remember seeing it thinking, oh wow, and then realising it was fan made.
Crap,
so
maybe that is what I saw.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, she's coming back. I fully believe she's coming back.
I'd like to think so, because it'd be an interesting conversation with a few people, definitely.
Yeah. Carol, you took us to a cave and we all got screwed up, but you left me there to die.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, definitely.
Said with a less angry tone, I guess.
Well, yeah. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Daryl, I think is carried an element of guilt that she wasn't found. It'd be interesting to see his dynamic with her.
They were a good couple.
Yeah, they were, and it was organic and it was happening nicely. But of course, we know Carol and Daryl are leaving together, so none of that matters anymore.
Although I did see a theory quickly on Twitter of how long before Negan and Carol become a thing.
Nah.
And just the idea of that doesn't sit easy.
Nah, no chance. I think you got more chance of Negan and Maggie becoming a couple.
That'd be amusing.
That would be amusing. But yeah, man, that's everything I've got. Did you have anything else?
The children eating horse meat.
Yeah.
That was an interesting scene. Like, little Herschel, was it Herschel? Like, take little bites, chew it really quickly, it's fine.
Do you not think that there's an interesting story to be told about why the hell Maggie was on her own for so long? Because she told that story last week, which was dark as hell, right?
Yeah.
And little Herschel this week basically made it clear that they were surviving day to day, starving, hungry, and it was quite a while. She left
in a helicopter sort of thing, or a big jeep, wasn't it?
Yeah, she left with like an advanced community who were going around helping people. And then
here's all the blueprints to make a farm and a windmill. Whenever they had everything you would need to survive.
So why did she end up on her own for so long?
Yeah, what the hell went wrong?
I mean, she said to Daryl, "I got a story. I'm just not ready to tell it yet." So I think at some point we're gonna hear more about that. But
do you reckon it was Maggie's fault? Definitely Maggie's fault. She screwed up.
She basically arrives at communities and they get destroyed. So yeah, she is the destroyer of lives right now.
Yeah.
Going to be interesting. I think the dynamic between her and Negan on the road together is hilarious.
Yep.
So I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying that tension of him thinking anytime I turn my back she's going to kill me, and her feeling the same way about him. It's kind of unique. But then he did save her twice in that episode.
Yeah.
The first time from the Reaper, and the second time when she was about to get eaten by a horde along with her friend.
Yes.
And, literally dragged her kicking and screaming to save her, which he doesn't need to be doing. We saw that train that he was willing just to leave her to die. So what's changed?
True. He also did come out with possibly one of the best lines I've heard.
Go on.
Was when he just turns around and is like, "Really? So we're gonna go towards the screen?"
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah.
He's quite a character.
Yes.
But anyway, man, that's us wrapped. Apologies for everyone for Walking Dead Wednesday being on a Thursday this week. Hope you still enjoy the show. We will be back aiming for next Wednesday, or we'll be discussing episode 4 of the latest Walking Dead. Keep an eye on our Facebook page for all other shows as and when things return. Until then, everybody, you take care.
That's a wrap.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.